Let's take a look at how we might get started on drawing this foundation plan assignment 4. The first thing you'll do is you'll open your title block, which is in the assignments folder, and when it comes up it looks like this. So that means you are in paper space, and I've named it B size sheet, B sheet. We want to do all our drawing in model space, so I'm going to click that model tab. Okay, now let's get a few things set up before we start drawing stuff. First of all, down here at the bottom in the taskbar are your O-snaps and object snaps. These are really important. And the title block, as it is set up, has only a few O-snaps set. You can see the check marks there. So you probably will use an endpoint quite a bit. But there are some other O-snaps here that we ought to be using, and they don't have check marks next to them. So I'm going to select, I think I'll do the midpoint, and I will do the perpendicular, because that can be handy. And sometimes it's handy just to be able to grab the nearest point anywhere on a line, so I think I'll grab that one too. Oh, and if we should be drawing a circle, we will want not only the center O-snap, there's that one, but we also want the quadrant O-snap, which is at the quarter points of a circle. So there I've got several O-snaps set: end point, midpoint, perpendicular, nearest, and then for circles I've got center and quadrant. That looks pretty good. And I got there by clicking this down arrow next to the O-snap thingy. And of course we want to make sure that our O-snaps are on. If I click that icon, it turns them off, and you can see here there's a message saying you turned it off. We want to make sure that is on. Okay. Then there's another command here called polar tracking that's really useful. So we want to make sure that's on. And what that does is if you start drawing a line some direction, when you snap into a particular angle, like let's say straight across or straight up and down, see that ghost, that green ghost line, and your cursor kind of clicks in? That snaps you into whatever angle that is, so it's a lot easier to draw. So have that one on also. Then I think I will start drawing the outline of my foundation, so I'm going to go up here and make my A foundation outline my current layer. So I'll click on that. Okay, now I'm ready to draw. And when I look at my drawing here, I see, well, there's a line that goes up 20 feet, then over 44 feet, then down 20 feet, and so on and so forth. So I will start drawing a line. And you can use this line command up here if you like. I rather like typing, and you don't have to type the whole word. You can just go L. So I'm going to go L for line, enter, and notice it starts the line command right there. So I will click one point, and then I'm going to drag straight up for the beginning of my wall. Notice how that ghost line is snapping into place there. And also notice how in the what they call dynamic input box, that white box with numbers in it that's stuck to the cursor, that's telling you how long your line is right now. I want my line to be 20 feet, so I'm going to go 20 foot mark. I don't have to go -0 inches, I just go 20 foot mark. Enter. Alrighty. and then I'm going to go over 44 feet. I don't have to get anywhere close. I just have to get that tracking line to snap in. See that ghost line there? And I'm going to type 44 feet, enter, and so on and so forth. Down 20 feet, enter, over, 20 feet, enter, over 4 feet, enter, down 4 feet, enter. I'm just reading my drawing here. Over 32 feet, enter, up 4 feet, enter, and now there is my endpoint O-snap. I want to make sure I use an O-snap. There I am back to the beginning. Okay, there is my foundation. That's the outside of the stem wall. Now I want my stem wall to be 6 inches thick, and offset is going to be a really handy way to do that. Here is the offset command right here. It's a picture of some stuff getting offset. You could also type O for offset if you prefer. I'm going to get the offset command going. Now, AutoCAD is talking to you, and it's really important that you pay attention to what it's saying and follow the directions. Right now, what it's saying is specify offset distance. So I don't want to go clicking yet. It wants to know a distance, and what I want is 6 inches. 6. Now, inches is the default. If I wanted feet, I'd put a foot mark, but if I just want inches, I can just go 6, enter. Okay, now what is it saying? I'm not going to click yet. It's saying select object to offset. Oh goody, I can select a line on this stem wall, click, and now what is it saying? Specify point on side to offset. It doesn't know whether I want to offset to the left or whether I want to offset to the right, so I'm just going to click somewhere out here in space, kind of towards the right side, to tell it that's the direction I want to go. And notice I'm still in the offset command. I don't have to start over with this thing. I can just keep going. So now it's giving me a chance to select another object. Okay, I'll select that, side to offset, that. See, I'm just going to go all the way around my stem wall here and keep clicking. You'll notice I'm going to have some cleanup to do, but that's okay. That won't be too bad. So now I've got stem wall stuff. Now I can hit enter to accept. All right, cleanup time. Up here in the corner, I've got some lines that are overlapping. So I'm going to zoom in on that corner a little bit, and I'm going to get the trim command. See that picture of the scissors there? That's the trim command. I could type TR for trim, and actually that's what I like to do, but you can also just click that button if you want. Okay, we have to follow the directions again. It says select objects, but what in the heck is it talking about? When it says select objects, what it's asking is, what objects do you want to use as your cutters, your knife blades? And I could click some lines that I want to use as cutting edges. See there, it's saying cutting edges. I'll select a couple of lines there and enter to accept. And now it says select object to trim. Well, very good. So now I click on the part I want to trim away, click. I'm still in the trim command, so I can do that again, click. I'll hit enter to accept, and I'll zoom back out where I was. There's my thing. Now I could get the trim command again and keep going. And let me zoom in just a little bit so it's a little bit easier to see. So I'm going to type TR for trim. Now this time it's asking me to select the cutting edges, but notice how it says here inside these brackets is something that says select all, and those brackets mean when you hit the enter key, whatever's inside those brackets, that's what you'll get. Well, I would rather like to select all the lines on this drawing, so I'm going to hit enter. And now it has selected every single line on my drawing, which could be a cutter. Okay, now it says select object to trim. Okay, and now I can go all the way around my thing, trimming out these lines. Sometimes you do something wrong like I did there, so I'll undo or Control Z for undo. That's no problem. Keep clicking, and I'll just keep cleaning up my drawing here. I might go back, and for these corners that are not quite meeting, you know what could be good here would be if you have this other thing, this other button in your taskbar turned on that's called OSnap Tracking. Watch what, I've got that turned on, and watch what I can do. So I'm going to click on this line so that I've got grips, and I'll click on that grip a second time so that grip becomes hot. And now it says you're ready to stretch. Okay, I'm going to pull my line up here, and before I start clicking, I'm going to go over here to this line and pick up a track. See that green ghost line there? I've picked up a track from that line. I've got two green ghost lines here, and I'm kind of snapping in. Now I can click. Ta-da! And escape, escape. Now I'll just grab this line. There are some grips. I'll click on that grip again to make it hot, and I'll drag it over until the endpoint OSnap lights up, and there I am there. Escape, escape. Okay, there is my foundation. Now let's say I want to do my footing. I know I haven't cleaned this up yet, but I want to show you some other stuff. So I want to do my footing, and I can use that offset to make the footing as well. I want my footing to be on the footing layer because that's going to give me a dashed line. And I know that my stem wall is 6 inches wide and my footing is 12 inches wide. So I could get out my calculator and figure out, that means that I'm going to offset 3 inches on each side of my stem wall, and that will take me to where my footing is supposed to be. So why don't I do that? Let me get the offset command again. And this time it's saying offset distance. This time I will enter 3. Enter for 3 inches. Now watch what happens when I try to offset my stem wall. I'll click on the stem wall and tell it I want to go to the right. Then I'll click on my other stem wall, tell it I want to go to the left, and so on and so forth. What you notice is that, hey, I had my footing layer selected, but it didn't put these on the footing layer. That's because what it did was it just basically made a copy of my stem wall line, and it's on the stem wall layer, on the foundation outline layer, so that's what these are too. That's okay. I'm going to just click on my footing line and my other footing line, and then I'll go, so I've got those two selected, and I will go up to my layer drop down,